What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz the Books. How's it going, Mike?
Can't complain, brother. Good to be back with you. Wade, Happy New Year, man. We're almost there. Holy cow, 2024. Where does the time go? But I'm fired up about 2025, man. What's
Yeah,
happening?
no, it's obviously the 2024 season's coming to a wrap with a lot of the sports still going on. As we talked in the pre-recording here, NFL next week's probably going to be a dud. Not a lot of games to bet on, so it could possibly be a week to kind of lay off and maybe just take a break from the game. We don't really know who's going to be playing in a lot of those games. Maybe the Vikings Lions game might be the only action there. So yeah, man, but it's gonna be a good end of the year. We've got an exciting college football to obviously end the new year and then kick off the beginning of the new year. So we're here to talk about that. And what are your thoughts going into the new year here with the games on I guess Tuesday and Wednesday here?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's just this. I'm a college football junkie. Outside of Major League Baseball, college football is my passion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all four of these games. A little disappointed though that in two of them we're getting another double-digit favorite in two of these four games. That's a little bit disappointing. Just makes me wonder if they did this all right. I know it's the first year of experimenting with the 12 teams, but no disrespect to Boise State or Arizona State, but it's just I don't know. I wish these would be four games with spreads of a touchdown or less. I would be a little more excited about. But yeah, really pumped for Ohio State and Oregon should be, as we say down south, a slobber knocker as it was in the regular season. And Notre Dame, Georgia, the same. So those two really fired up about. The other two, maybe not so much. I will be watching. But yeah, it should have at least two out of these four should be really, really tight games. Any thoughts from you, big guy?
Yeah, I think they obviously have to make a change. You can't have the higher seed being a 14-point dog.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. I actually saw
good
when I
point.
when I looked at that
Good
the other
point.
day, I actually couldn't help but laugh. It's just ridiculous. I'm sure they're gonna make a change,
Yeah,
possibly just not put the conference champions, give them the top seeds. I actually wouldn't mind if they added a few more teams, maybe did
sure.
like a 16 team tournament
Yep,
like the Division 1 or 2 or whatever that, maybe it's Division 3. One of them does like a 16 team playoff with just no
absolutely.
buys. Nobody gets a buy, everybody plays. You obviously would still get blowouts in that situation, but I think it would quickly dwindle down. You wouldn't have so much. I don't know. Last round was just weird. We can't have that again. So either way, I'm assuming they're gonna fix it. Um, I'm here for it. It's great. We got more football going. So hey, I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah,
Football
exactly.
is football, man. You know.
Yeah, it's a great point. Here in the dog days of August when there's nothing on but baseball, we'd love to have a little football to shake things up. So we'll take it while we can get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? SMU had a chance. I honestly like letting these
Mhm.
teams like we give them a chance to go play and you see
Yeah,
what happens. So it's just some of these teams are overmatched. And we'll see. I guess we'll see if that 14-point spread for Arizona State's too much or not here when we get into these games. But yeah, I think some of these spreads are a little crazy here. And we could have some closer games than I think the books are telling. So I guess we'll just jump right into that. Um,
sure.
Preview number one, we've got Penn State going against Boise State. That's Tuesday. That'll be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
Woo!
The Penn State is a -11 spread, minus 450 money line, and the total is 53 and a half. Penn State is 12-2. Boise State is 12-1, and Penn State has the advantage in strength of schedule, offensive efficiency, and defensive efficiency. Their strength of schedule is 39 compared to Boise State's 89. Offensive efficiencies were pretty close here with 5 to Penn State versus number 10 to Boise State. And Penn State's defensive efficiency was number 12 to Boise State's 35. So obviously, the money line is telling us should be a pretty easy win here for Penn State. What do you think about this game? You think the spread's right? What do you think about hold Genty if he's going to be able to do anything on this Penn State defense?
Yeah, I passed on the spread. If I had to play it, gun to my head, I'd lay the points at Penn State. I love Boise State. I'll put that out there. I love the Smurf turf back before the Smurf turf was cool, man. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was watching Boise State. So I'm aging myself a little bit there. So I never wanted to disrespect the Broncos, but they're just going to be overmatched in this game, Wade. I mean, I love Genty. I think he probably got screwed out of the Heisman, to be honest with you, even though I was holding a small Travis Hunter ticket. But you look at strength of schedule alone, it matters who you play. We saw that in the first round. It matters. Strength of schedule freaking matters this time of year. Boise State just 89th, toughest schedule according to Sagarin. Penn State 39th. The play I would recommend, though, actually like Ashton Genty under 129 and a half rushing yards. You can pick that up right now over at Caesars for around minus buck 25 or so. Just think it's too high, man. I get that he's a stud, and if you check, by the math, his median on the year is 192. So, Mikey Knobs, have you lost your ever loving redneck mind? Maybe, but I just don't think he's seen a defensive line as ferocious as the Nittany Lions here. I think they'll have a good game plan. They'll stack the box. They'll figure out how to slow him down. Will he get over 100? Yeah, probably so, because they're going to pound the rock. But man, as a double digit underdog, you got to think that Boise's going to be forced to throw more than they're comfortable with, especially in the second half if they're trailing by 2 scores or more. I think that line's a little too high. I think the value there's with the under on Genty, but man, whew, it's one of them ones you hit submit and just kind of hold your breath and pray for no long 80-yard runs from him. Any thoughts from you, man?
Yeah, I said that when we were talking about this play earlier. I sent this to my buddy, and his only response was, "It's scary." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's
He's
been
right.
under
It is
he's been
scary.
under this game this total in 2 games. So
Mm-hmm.
one of them was obviously
Mm-hmm.
a blowout to, I believe, Portland or Portland State,
Yep, Portland State.
and then UNLV, the first game they played them, he was held to 128. So I
Yep.
actually think this is a good play, man. I might I'm sitting here looking at it. I've got it loaded up. I haven't submitted it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play this game. I might just do like a half unit, maybe like
Yeah,
$50 or something like that on this
yeah,
game, on
yeah.
this
I would
play.
definitely go small on it because he could, rip off one long one or kind of screw. It's one of those sweaty ones where I think there's value in it, but am I excited to play it? No, not really.
No, not really, but I do think it's worth a shot. I think they can keep him under 125. I really
Yeah,
do.
Penn
Um,
State ninth in the country in yards per rush allowed. That's
yeah,
just
I think they're gonna
insane.
pressure the
Wow.
quarterback. I do think they're gonna have success moving the ball. I think I mean, obviously they're one of the more efficient offenses in the country. They're gonna find a way to move the ball. I just don't think he's gonna find that huge run. They're not gonna
Yeah,
give up a huge explosive play. I just don't believe that. And he needs an explosive play to reach that total, I believe.
they're gonna
Um,
put I think 7, 8 in a box and just dare Boise to beat them through the air.
I
Um,
can see 70 to like 85 or something for
mhm.
him in that range. I'm not
Yeah,
sure he's
and he
gonna get
might score a
100 real
touchdown or
quick.
two. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad game, but I just think the numbers inflated just because of the
Yep,
insane year he had. You
I
know,
like it. I like it. I
um,
like it. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, right with you there. Yeah, my pick. I'm actually looking at the over. I
Okay.
took over 52.
Okay.
That was minus 125.
All right.
Um, it's a risky one because Penn State has only been over this total. Pulling that up right now. I switched over to the Genty look. Let me
Oh,
see
got you.
what this
Yeah.
was. Yeah, Penn State's only been over this line 36% of their games, so it is a scary one. They went over in the Oregon game at Purdue, and then I believe it was at USC. So two of their road games did go over, so I like that stat. 62% of Boise State's games went over this line, and they actually had a push against Oregon State 2 games ago. What I really like about this, Penn State scored 26 points or more in 11 of their 13 games this season. Boise State scored 28 points or more in 11 of their 13 games this season. They both averaged 6.7 or more yards per play against pretty good defenses. The Broncos also gave up 27 points per game and against out of state or out of state out of conference games. So I believe Broncos are probably going to give up more than 28 to 30 points to Penn State. And then I think that Boise is going to be able to find a way. I don't think they're going to score 28 points on Penn State, but we did see how Penn State, or not, how Oregon ran against Boise State. That was a high scoring, I think 36 to
Yeah.
33 game.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that here. I respect Penn State's defense a little bit better than that, but I do think Boise State can find maybe like 20. So I
Yeah.
think we could
I
easily
see
be
that.
looking at like a 35 to 20 game, 21. They might find 20, maybe 24. I don't know. 24 might be too many points. But we did see in those two road games for Penn State, they both went over. So I just think we're going to see points in this. We saw how Penn State put points on SMU. And even though it's not a home game, I still think their offense is just working on all cylinders right now. And I just don't think Boise State's going to be able to stop them much. So.
Yeah, agreed. I think Nittany Lions are going to do most of the heavy lifting for you here. It wouldn't surprise me if they put up 35, 38, 40 even, just because James Franklin loves to run it up when he can, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, would definitely lean with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, they both played a common opponent in Oregon. The
Uh-huh.
total in the Oregon Penn State game got to 82.
Yeah. Holy cow. Isn't that something?
And then the Boise State Oregon game got to 71. So I
Yeah.
think we're getting a pretty good number at
Yeah.
52.
Yeah,
I know we
me
got a good
too.
defense here, but I do think the offenses are going to find a way to put some
Hmm.
points up. So,
That's a key number too. You got a good number because I mean a 31-21 outcome very likely. At least you get a push, you know.
dude,
Um,
I really wanted 51. If that number does pop for whatever reason come down, I would jump all over 51. 51, Penn State has pushed on two other games. So if you moved it down
yeah,
to 51, they would actually at least push on that number more often than the 52. So it is a risk with the Penn State team, their defense, obviously, but I do think we can see some points here on Tuesday night. So
yeah,
we'll go to the next game here. We've got the first game on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Number 12, Texas taking on number 4, Arizona State. Texas currently is a minus 13-point favorite, minus 500 money line, and a 51.5 total. Those are all from ESPN, by the way, if anybody was curious where those lines are coming
yeah,
from. Arizona State is 11-2. Texas is 12-12. Texas has a strength of schedule advantage at number 18 to Arizona State's 37. Arizona State actually has the better offensive efficiency at number 7 to Texas number 17, and Texas has the number 1 rated defense efficiency in the country with Arizona State at number 30. Um, I'm a big Longhorn fan, man. This is gonna be a fun game for me. I love the minus 500. I do believe we're gonna have a pretty easy game here. I'm not sweating it out
yeah.
too much. But what are you thinking here?
Yeah. I played Arizona State. I actually got plus 14 and a half about a week ago. I'd still lean that way if you want to play the Sun Devils here.
Yeah,
I just think, I mean, this line's in the same range as what it was when Texas played Clemson. I have Arizona State a lot better ball team than Clemson here.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just a little, I think it's a little disrespectful. Now, do I think Texas is really going to have to sweat this one? No. But I could see them cruising just to a nice little 10 point, 11 point win. You know, definitely the Longhorns got a ton of weapons, but does Sark really care about blowing out Arizona State here? You know, they're going to obviously have to load the box to shut down the man, Cam Scattaboo, who cashed a ton of props for us this year. My goodness, he's a beast. I don't think Scattaboo will have a huge game, but Arizona State, man, I just think they're better than people think. They're ninth in yards per pass game this year. You know, Texas has a stellar defense, but Arizona State also has an underrated defense. I mean, they're not too bad. Only gave up 21 points per game this season.
Correct.
Only give up 3.8 yards per rush. You know, I just think they can keep it close. Do I think they win? No, not a chance. I think the Longhorns win fairly easily, 7 to 10, 7 to 11 points. But I just thought it was a hair too high. So yeah, I'd lean toward the Sun Devils with the point spread. Just think Texas getting a little bit inflated here at this number, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm on the same side as you, man. I would actually recommend if people don't mind buying the points, go ahead and right now it's 12.5, but you can still get plus 14 at like minus 130. I don't hate that price for
yeah,
especially if you play more than, if you're playing a 50 bucks, 25 bucks a bet, maybe it's not worth it. But if you're 100,
right,
$200, $300 better, that's absolutely worth it. Um,
definitely,
yeah, I think 14 points is way too much. I think they're getting very disrespected. I actually really what I like about Arizona State's offense, a couple key things here that I found. Third down conversion rate. I
yeah,
understand defensively Texas is ranked sixth, but offensively Arizona's ranked 17th in the country in converting third downs. So I think they'll be able to find some success. Texas is not going to be able to stop them on every single one, I don't think. They were also ranked 35th in the country in an amount of first downs per game. Um, They were second in the country in turnovers per game, which I really like. Texas usually thrives on turnovers, and obviously, if Texas gets sacks and turnovers and their defense really shows up, I think they can spread this thing out to maybe even 17 to 21 points. But I don't think that's going to happen. They're very safe with the ball, and also they
Mm-hmm.
rank 32nd in the country in sacks and 38th in the country in QB hits. So they also just don't let QBs get hit very often. Ranked tied 14th in tackles for a loss, so they don't usually give up a lot of negative plays. There's just a lot that I like about this Arizona State offense. I just don't think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot a lot. I think they're going to be able to keep the game close. I can see Texas maybe getting out to a big lead, like some of these other games they've done where they get up by 21, but then we get like a late backdoor
Yeah.
cover or something. They just Arizona State has too much pride. Scatterbo's too good. I think he'll be able to find some openings. He'll bust a couple big runs. It's just what he does. I love
Yeah.
Texas' defense, but they're definitely going to give up a couple runs to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a closer game than what books think. 10 points is probably where I would put it. So
There you go. I'm with you,
yeah.
buddy. Good deal.
On to the third game here. We've got number one Oregon getting a rematch against
Here
number
we
eight
go.
Oregon Ohio State. I guess or Ohio State's the one getting the rematch against Oregon here.
Yeah.
Um, The spread has actually moved. Ohio State opened up -1. Now it's moved to -2.5. Money line for Ohio State is -130, and the total is 55.5. Obviously, Oregon is number one in the country, undefeated, 13-0. Ohio State is 11-2. We've got the strength of schedule: 44 to Ohio State to 47 to Oregon. Oregon has a number two rated offensive efficiency in the country to number 16 defense, where Ohio State is rated four in both categories, offense and defense. Um, Man, we got a lot of revenge factor here. Um, does that play into this? Does that get to the players' emotions? Do we get stiffness in this game, or are we gonna have some free play, and are we gonna get another 30 to 30 game here, or we see more defense? This is a pretty tricky game to honestly handicap for me. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Same, man. Tricky, tricky, tricky game. I mean, the old saying, it's hard to beat a good team twice in a year. I kind of feel sorry for the Ducks here getting this draw in the quarterfinals. Not even the semis. They have to play a pretty tough rematch here with Ohio State. I don't have really a lean on the side. I think the Buckeyes get it done. I think they're pretty pissed off for greatness ever since. I think that Michigan loss was actually a blessing in disguise for them. I'm sure, Buckeye Nation disagrees with me right now. They're ready to fire Ryan Day after that. But, we saw them make a statement against the Tennessee Vols. They looked angry. Um, I would lean Ohio State, but the pick I made actually is I'm going to go Travion Henderson over here. Let's see, what was the number?
45.5.
Yeah, 45 and a half. That's right. Yeah, I was a
Um,
steal over at Hard Rock. Now, that number is wrong, by the way. It's about 7 yards higher everywhere else. If you have a Hard Rock account, jump on that bad boy before they move it, just for line value alone. We talk about EV. This is one of them, man. Travion's been on a roll. He looked great against Tennessee. You check his stats. His median on the year is 68. So even though he's sharing the backfield with Quinshawn Judkins, the former Ole Miss star, I mean, I don't understand why the line is this cheap. If we just look at it, he's gone over this number in 11 of his 13 ball games. I
yeah, I
just
was getting
don't
ready to
see
say
it.
that.
Yeah, just don't see it. I mean, Oregon's secondary is very good, but their D line struggles to stop the run. They're just 54th in the country in yards per rush allowed. So I could see both Judkins and Henderson, doing some damage on the ground here. That O line looked to be playing a whole lot better against Tennessee. That was encouraging. Tennessee, a very good D line. So I was encouraged by that performance from Travion. He's a good guy too, man. He's a good Christian guy. He's humble. I like the kid. Could see him having another big game here. Just think it's a good spot for him, and just the number's too low. I don't know why this number isn't in the 60s, but I'll jump on it nonetheless.
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic plus EV play. I actually gave this out to my well, I didn't give it out. I alerted my members in my Discord if they wanted a plus EV play to lock this baby in. It's
Appreciate it, man.
52.5 on most books.
Yeah,
So
and that's fine too. I'm fine with that. I don't hate that at all either.
yeah, no, you're getting some tremendous value here. So I think that's a fantastic play if you guys are looking for a prop. For the I guess I keep wanting to say the weekend. This whole thing is really
It
throwing me
feels
off,
like the
man.
weekend.
I do. I feel like today is a Friday. I really do.
It should be.
Um,
It should be.
wow. Yeah. No. Man, I'm gonna have to. I hate to do this honestly, but I am gonna have to side with Ohio State in this game. I do think
Yeah.
revenge is a big factor here. I think they're gonna be able to find a way. Um, Howard doesn't make a terrible mistake late in the game. I think obviously like you said, the Michigan game. Um, That was probably a pretty big pivotal point, although I do believe they got that out of their system last game against Tennessee. I think we're gonna have a pretty tight game here. It's probably gonna be a 3-point game, and if you guys want to lay the points with Ohio State, I think -2.5 is a pretty good look right now for Ohio State. Um,
Yeah.
I think both running backs are gonna find success. I do think we're gonna get into the 20s with both teams, but I do think they'll find a way late in the game. I can see something like a 27-24 score. I think both of them will at least get over 21, maybe 28-24 type of game. It's gonna be very close, but I think Ohio State finds a way here.
Yeah, I would definitely lean that way. Like I said, it's probably a cliche, but it's hard to beat a good team twice. You look at that Oregon victory by only a point. That was on their home field. By the way, this is at a neutral
Correct.
site. This is a Rose Bowl here. It's a big game. Rose Bowl out in Pasadena.
Do you
Oh,
think Ryan Day is fired if they lose this game?
no, I don't think so. I think it's all overreaction. It just I don't know why they would fire a guy that's what is he like 80-10. I mean, I don't even know what his record is, but something
Yeah, most of
crazy.
his losses are Michigan, just to Michigan.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. They are his kryptonite, I guess. But yeah, I don't. I mean, I do hear a lot of that talk, but I think it's
yeah,
just talk. I don't know how you
yeah,
can fire it. Ryan Day's a good coach. I think he sometimes is too sensitive. I think he listens too much to the media. We saw a few years ago where he
sure,
was kind of
sure.
clapping back at who was it? Lou Holtz, I
Yep,
think. Lou Holtz had
yep.
said something in the media, and he got all mad about it. It's like, come on, Dave, why are you even listening to that crap, man? I don't understand that, but yeah, I don't know. Weird. I
Yeah,
think they get it
well,
done though. Oregon's a good
I
team, but it's about time they lost a game, and I think this is it, unfortunately.
yeah, correct. And I meant to mention that earlier too. They're 13-0. I think their loss comes right now. They got screwed by the committee.
They did
They should be playing
terrible.
somebody like Arizona State, not
My thoughts exactly, dude. My thoughts exactly. That's just the yeah.
I'm
It's
sure they
the
feel the same
seeding.
way, so they may be coming out with some anger as well. So I think this is going to be a very good game, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot to of emotions on both sides here. So we'll see.
hmm
We'll
Yeah, it's
see.
gonna be the game. I
Yeah,
agree.
this will be a very good game leading us to the game of the night. I believe we've got Notre Dame taking on number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 2 Georgia. Right now, Georgia is a -1 favorite. Actually, I looked at the last um, board, and I think I saw actually Notre Dame was now -1.5. Georgia's +1.5, but the money line is still basically -120 Georgia plus 100 even money for Notre Dame. We've got a total of 44.5. Georgia's 11-2, Notre Dame's 12-1. Georgia has the favorable strength of schedule, ranked third in the country to Notre Dame's 59. We've got
Woo.
an offensive efficiency of 6 for Georgia to 11 of Notre Dame. Notre Dame has the number 2 defensive efficiency in the country to Georgia's number 17. And actually, Notre Dame was ranked the number 1 total efficiency team in the country. This game kicks off at 8:45 p.m. on Wednesday night, January 1st. And I believe we're both on opposite sides of this game, so this will be fun. What are you thinking about this game, man?
Yeah, it's a tough matchup, man. Tough match. It really sucks for Georgia that Carson Beck got hurt in SEC title game. But hats off to them finding a way to come back and win that game, even with a backup in there. I played the dogs, and I'll be honest with you, Wade. I don't love it, but I played them money line -115, even with the backup. And I'm just
Yeah,
sticking to my guns, man. Strength of
yeah,
schedule matters. The Irish is a good team, but man, when staring at that 59th strength of schedule against Georgia, third toughest.
it's tough.
Georgia had to play Alabama, had to play Texas twice. They beat Texas twice. So the way I'm thinking is maybe oversimplifying it here, but if they can shut down the Horns offense, they can shut down Notre Dame. That's just, I mean, it's a very simple handicap for me. Guess the thing that does bother me a tad bit, this Georgia defense isn't as dominant as in years past. They're still very good, but their metrics even, just 29th in yards per rush allowed, which isn't terrible. But 41st in yards per pass allowed. That those aren't Georgia like numbers. You know what I mean? It's still a good defense. I don't think it's necessarily an elite defense, but I struggle to see really how good Notre Dame is, with that soft strength of schedule. They did good to both of us. We both were on them against Indiana. They looked great, but Indiana really hadn't played anybody all year long. Tough to fade the Irish. I do like Riley Leonard. I do like Jeremiah Love. I think Love's a little banged up. But
Yep.
yeah, I went with the dogs, but yeah, definitely not one of my favorable plays, I guess you'd say. Maybe
Yeah,
it's the
sure.
SEC homer in me. Maybe I don't know.
No, I mean, this Notre Dame's got two of my beloved players. We've
Yeah,
basically played Riley Leonard and
there you go.
Jeremiah Love every week to score a touchdown, and they've
I
cashed
love
pretty
it.
much every week. Well, Love has because Love scored every week.
Mhm.
And as a little bonus bet for you, I did play on both of them this week. Leonard
Nice.
was plus 150, Love was plus like 105. I believe one of them
Okay.
scores. It might be tough for both to score, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if both are going to score, but I do think it's worth taking both because I think you'll find some profit there. There are a couple
Yeah.
key things that and I do agree with most of what you said. This is going to be a very tough game. That strength of schedule is scary. Beating Texas
Yeah.
twice is scary, but I honestly trust this Notre Dame offense more than Texas's offense. Um, Texas has these explosive games, and then they have these other games where they just don't
True.
do anything. So I don't know what it is. I still haven't been able to even figure out my own team. I think it's the offensive line most of it, and I just really trust this Notre Dame offensive line, and I trust this defensive line. They played one common opponent this season. Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech 31-13. Georgia barely beat Georgia Tech, as most people probably saw that very exciting game, 44-42, and a couple overtimes. Um, I do agree with what you said earlier before before we started the recording that Georgia may not have been really into that game. They didn't really care that much about that game. They were probably looking forward to the game ahead against Texas, possibly. But another thing that I really liked as well is strength of victory. Now, strength of schedule obviously is something that was just I do not like at all for Notre Dame. But strength of victory, we have Georgia ranked number 12 and Notre Dame at number 16. So the
Okay.
teams that they did
Yeah.
beat,
Okay.
I guess you can use that to whatever you want. I mean, obviously the strength of schedule does matter, I think more. But I believe this is going to be a low scoring game. I do believe Georgia with the backup quarterback, I think they're going to really struggle against this Notre Dame defense. I don't think Notre Dame offense is going to have a lot of success either. This Georgia defense is still, like you said, very good. They're going to have troubles. We saw Notre Dame had troubles against Indiana last week in the second half. They barely could do anything after Jeremiah Love's explosive run. He was shut down. Is he hurt? I don't know. Obviously, he's a little banged up. They didn't give much time for rest for this game. But I do think Notre Dame can come away with this. I took them money line. Um, it's a toss up, man, because I
It
do
is.
think it's
So,
gonna probably come down to defense and which defense puts their offense in a better field position for most of the game. Because I just don't think the offenses are going to be able to make very explosive plays. But what I do like is the key factors of Leonard and Love and that rushing attack. I think if one doesn't find success, the other can. Um,
yeah.
Leonard Leonard can find their tight end and in critical positions, and I just think he's going to make the passes when needed. And I don't know if this Georgia guy can, but I know he can run, and I trust this Notre
Mhm.
Dame defense to spy on him and keep him from running. So it's nice that they got a little tape on him from the Texas game. I don't know. Honestly, this will be a game you could probably just not put any money on and just watch it because
Yeah.
you just don't know. There's so many factors on both sides. But for the video, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Notre Dame
Sure.
money line.
Yeah, another nugget of why I like Georgia. I forgot to hit on this.
Yeah.
Notre Dame struggled in the field goal kicking game all year long.
Yeah, just barely over
134th,
50%.
134th in the country in field goal conversion percentage, only making 47.6% of their field goals. Georgia 15th in the country, made 90% of their field goals. It's in a tough game, a tight game, that's a nice edge for the dogs. But I
Correct,
definitely
correct.
I get why you like the Irish, and I don't hate you for it just because you're getting the more experienced QB, and that means a lot. That's worth a lot.
I think they're going to be
Jalen
able to
Milton.
find success
Yeah,
running the ball. I really do. But the field
yeah,
goal thing, yes, I actually read into that a little bit before we got on here. That's a worrisome. That might be one of the biggest key factors people aren't talking about. That might be the key factor is the kicking game.
yeah, yeah. It
So
means a lot, especially when you see a spread. It's basically a pick 'em, and then you got a total. It's what 45. I think that's what it
that's
is.
why we need
45,
touchdowns,
45
baby.
total.
We need
Yeah,
touchdowns.
exactly. Hey, and if I'm Marcus Freeman and it's fourth and short, I'm gonna run. So I'm just gonna run it with either Love or Leonard and just take my chances. I'm not gonna leave it up to a kick if I'm him. But that's me with the Monday morning quarterback in here. I'm sitting armchair quarterbacking, but
And
it
really,
should be
those
a heck
those
of a
fourth
game.
those fourth down conversion calls are really tough when they get down into the 20-yard line plus. I mean, I've
Definitely.
seen some of these bowl games. It's just screwed a team where they haven't just taken the 3 points. So we'll see, man. This is going to be an interesting game. Um, I'm gonna go through a quick rundown of all of our bets real quick for everybody. We got Mike's picks. We've got Ashton Genty under 129 and a half rushing yards. Arizona State plus 14. Travion Henderson over 45 and a half rushing yards. Now that's only on Hard Rock, so he also
Yep.
likes the 52 and a half. You can get most places, and there's also a 50 and a half floating around on DraftKings for minus 120. So if you can't get the Hard Rock, 50 and a half minus 120 DraftKings is your next best one, and then 52 and a half on FanDuel minus 114 is your next best bet. So you got three good options there. I actually like them all three as well. And then his last one is Georgia money line, my four picks, and we're going to be running a giveaway on this. So $100 giveaway if all four of these cash. We'll see. We've got Penn State game over 52. We've got Arizona State plus 14. We've got Ohio State money line, and probably the one that I think is going to be the one that could burn us as the Notre Dame money line. That's going to be the toughest one of this one. Obviously, if we don't hit the Penn State one, the whole giveaway thing stinks. You obviously want to hit the first leg because that one's going to be starting tomorrow, and then we've got the 3 games on Wednesday to cash that out. So that would be exciting. It'd be great for everybody that's watching to join in on that. I'm going to be running that on X. You guys can follow me and Mike on X. I can follow him at Mike Noblin. Follow me at Top Flight Wagers. And then also I want to do a quick talk about our here sponsors here. We've got Betters Insider, we've got eatwatchbet.com, and we've got hellorookie.com. All three websites you guys can go to. If you guys are looking to open up a new sports book, go ahead and go to eatwatchbet.com and go to the top page. There's you can go to your state and you can see what books you have, and you can see what deposit matches you guys have. And all three websites offer free daily bet articles from numerous writers, all the sports you want, NBA, obviously college football, NFL. We've got a good run going with me and Mike putting out some successful articles lately, so don't miss
Yeah, baby.
those.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got anything to say, man?
Yeah. Appreciate. Just keep the lights on. We give out a ton of free content. So, getting those sign-ups is how we pay the bills, and appreciate that. But yeah, don't forget about Wade's Discord, man. Highly recommend it. Very affordable each month. If you like to play each and every sport, which hey, I don't blame you. It makes it more fun when you got a lot of action out there. Wade is your guy. He's got high volume better, maybe a medium to high
Yeah, I'd say
volume better,
medium.
depending on the time of year. But
Yeah.
golf's about to crank up again. Wade is a guru in golf. He's a
We got an
guru in
article coming out this
UFC.
week, baby.
Exactly, exactly. So I mean, the Discord pays for itself literally in a week. So like by the first week of every month, even if you're a $5 or $10 player, it doesn't matter. The wisdom you're going to gain from a seasoned handicapper like Wade pays for itself time and time again. And heck, if you're not looking for like a long term thing, that's fine. Sign up with him for 3 or 4 months. Take that profit, roll it over, and let him teach you how to handicap. He's always available to answer questions. He gives reasoning with all of his selections. That's a rare thing nowadays, guys. Plenty of guys on Gambling X throwing out picks. Very few have detailed write ups. Wade's one of our best new writers. We appreciate him. Thank y'all for watching. Man. It's been a blast, Wade.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, and actually, I'm running a 65% off through actually January 1st. You guys got a couple more days to
Oh,
sign up.
come on.
Go to my account on X, go to the link in the bio, join up in the Discord, and then there's a link in there to sign up. You get a 65% off any of my packages. So actually, right now, a 3-month package that would actually run you $75, you can get that for about $26. You can't beat that.
Woo!
If you
What
wanted
a
to try me
steal.
out for a month, I believe a month goes from like that's the month's 29.99. But if you use
Mm,
the 65%, if that takes you down to like $9 or something for the month. So either
what a
way, you get
steal.
1 month, 3 month, yearly package. Come check us out. I also have just a weekly package if you really want to just come check out a week. I got I've got two other cappers in there giving out picks right now. They're both cashing a lot for us right now, helping me out quite a bit through the holidays
Nice.
as we're busy and I'm not giving out as many plays and as much content as I'd like. But we'll get back to it. I appreciate everybody watching the show today. Mike, obviously, thanks for doing the show. Thanks for giving out
Oh,
these picks. I actually
anytime, buddy.
expect most of yours to hit as well. So,
Hope so,
yep,
buddy.
let's cash these. Good luck, everybody.
Ha-
Have a great holiday. Happy holiday. Happy New Year's. Thanks for coming.
Happy New Year. Thanks, folks. Be good.